Few figures in modern history have had as profound an impact on the trajectory of a nation as Xi Jinping, the current president of the People's Republic of China and General Secretary of the Communist Party of China. Since rising to power in 2012, Xi has redefined the nature of governance, reshaped China's foreign policy, and strengthened the central authority of the Communist Party in unprecedented ways. Under Xi's leadership, China has stepped confidently onto the world stage as a global superpower, while domestically the country has witnessed a powerful consolidation of state control, a sweeping anti-corruption campaign, and a renewed emphasis on ideology and nationalism. This is the story of Xi Jinping, the man behind China's modern resurgence and the architect of its vision for the 21st century. Xi Jinping was born in 1953, the son of Xi Jinping, a veteran revolutionary and a close ally of Mao Zedong during the early years of the Communist Party. As a princeling, Xi had access to political privilege, but his early years were anything but easy. During the Cultural Revolution, Xi's father was purged, and the young Xi was sent down to the countryside to labor in the remote village of Liangjiahe in Shanxi province. He spent 7 years living in a cave dwelling, hauling manure, farming, and reading Maoist texts by kerosene light. These formative years left a deep impression on Xi, who has often described his time in Liangjiahe as the period where he learned the values of hardship, perseverance, and loyalty to the Communist Party. After being rejected multiple times due to his father's political history, Xi eventually joined the Communist Party of China, CPC, in 1974. He studied chemical engineering at Tsinghua University and slowly climbed the party ladder through various provincial posts in Hebei, Fujian, Zhejiang, and eventually Shanghai, where he served briefly as party secretary before being summoned to Beijing. In 2012, Xi Jinping was appointed General Secretary of the Communist Party and shortly after became President of China and Chairman of the Central Military Commission, the country's top 3 positions. Many expected him to be a cautious leader, maintaining the collective leadership style of his predecessors. But Xi quickly defied expectations. He launched an aggressive campaign to reshape China's domestic landscape and centralize power. His first major move was the anti-corruption campaign, a sweeping crackdown on graft that took down hundreds of thousands of officials, including high-ranking tigers in the party, military, and state institutions. Though popular among the public, the campaign was also seen as a means to eliminate rivals and consolidate his power base. Xi began crafting a strongman leadership model, placing himself at the center of political life in China. In 2018, term limits on the presidency were removed from the constitution, allowing Xi to potentially rule indefinitely. He became the most powerful Chinese leader since Mao Zedong, often referred to in official discourse as the core of the party leadership. One of Xi's most important ideological visions is the Chinese dream, Zhongguomeng, a phrase he popularized shortly after taking office. This dream, according to Xi, is about the great rejuvenation of the Chinese nation, restoring China to its historical prominence after a century of humiliation. Xi has tied the dream closely to economic modernization, military strength, technological self-reliance, and cultural confidence. Under his guidance, China has invested heavily in innovation, infrastructure, and education. The state plays an active role in guiding industrial development, especially in AI, semiconductors, green technology, and aerospace. Nationalism has also become a key pillar of Xi's governance. Patriotic education, media campaigns, and cultural policies reinforce a narrative of China's rise as inevitable and righteous, often in contrast to Western models. Xi's leadership places the party at the heart of all aspects of Chinese life, encapsulated in the phrase, "the party leads everything." Xi Jinping is also the mastermind behind the Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, a global infrastructure and investment strategy launched in 2013. Aimed at enhancing connectivity and trade across Asia, Africa, and Europe, the BRI has made China a key economic player in dozens of developing countries. Through ports, railways, highways, and digital infrastructure, China has expanded its geopolitical influence. While supporters praise the initiative as a win-win model of global cooperation, critics view it as debt diplomacy and a tool for expanding Chinese political leverage abroad. Under Xi, China has become more assertive in foreign policy. In the South China Sea, it has built artificial islands and militarized disputed territories. Relations with the United States, India, Japan, and Europe have grown increasingly complex, often marked by economic competition, ideological rivalry, and diplomatic friction. Xi's diplomacy is marked by a dual message: win-win cooperation and self-reliance in the face of containment. His foreign policy doctrine often emphasizes multipolarity and a new global order, challenging U.S.-led alliances and liberal democratic values. Xi Jinping has ushered in significant changes to China's domestic governance model. His administration has promoted common prosperity, seeking to reduce income inequality and curb the excesses of the tech and real estate sectors. High-profile crackdowns on tech giants like Alibaba and Tencent, and restrictions on private tutoring and entertainment industries, signal a new era of state-guided capitalism. He has also expanded state surveillance, enhanced digital governance, and promoted the concept of a social credit system to monitor and shape citizen behavior. Under Xi's leadership, China has become one of the most technologically surveilled societies on Earth. Ideologically, Xi has revived Marxism-Leninism as a guiding force, while fusing it with Chinese cultural elements. Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era has been written into the party constitution and is taught in schools nationwide. On social matters, Xi's government promotes traditional family values, encourages higher birth rates amid demographic decline, and cracks down on what it deems moral decay in youth culture and media. Despite his dominance, Xi Jinping faces growing challenges. China's economic growth has slowed, exacerbated by COVID-19 policies, demographic aging, and trade tensions with the West. The zero-COVID policy, strictly enforced for nearly 3 years, triggered social discontent and rare public protests. Internationally, China under Xi has faced criticism over human rights abuses in Xinjiang, suppression of freedoms in Hong Kong, press censorship, and tight control over civil society. The Taiwan issue has become more sensitive, with Xi repeatedly declaring that reunification is inevitable, raising fears of potential military confrontation. His consolidation of power has sparked concerns about political stagnation and lack of internal checks and balances. Critics argue that Xi's model of governance stifles innovation and debate within the party. Nonetheless, Xi continues to enjoy strong support among large segments of the population, especially among those who see him as a guardian of China's sovereignty and global rise. Xi Jinping's leadership represents a turning point in Chinese history, a departure from the reformist pragmatism of Deng Xiaoping and a return to a more ideologically driven and centralized model of governance. Whether he will be remembered as the leader who ushered in a new golden age for China, or as one who overreached and imposed excessive control, remains to be seen. But one thing is certain: Xi Jinping has reshaped China's path and placed his personal imprint on nearly every aspect of Chinese life and policy. In the years to come, the world will continue watching as China, under Xi Jinping, pursues its ambition to become a rich, powerful, and respected nation on the global stage. His story is still being written, and the final chapter is yet to unfold.
我们坚持和发展中国特色社会主义，中国共产党和中国人民将在自己选择的道路上昂首阔步走下去，把中国发展进步的命运牢牢掌握在自己手中。中国人民也绝不允许任何外来势力欺负、 压迫、奴役我们。谁妄想这样干，必将在14多亿中国人民用血肉铸成的钢铁长城面前碰得头破血流。